cruisehabit.com. Welcome to those watching live as well as those watching the replay. We are sailing out of Port Everglades, Florida on the very first cruise out of the United States in over 15 months. Celebrity Equinox, also another Celebrity Cruise Line ship over there. There's been a horn battle ongoing, blasting the horns back and forth. We see tugboats with their water cannons out. There is Richard Fain, CEO of Royal Caribbean Group. We're on the Magic Carpet, which is a cantilever venue here on board Celebrity Edge. This venue can move between all the way down to the water line for tendering operations, all the way up to deck 15, depending on what it's being used for. Right now, it's here for a private sail away party, and we are absolutely honored to be invited, and so excited for this occasion. It has been a long time coming. The cruise industry has worked very hard to facilitate a safe return to cruising, and here we are. There's Port Everglades. You can see we are pulling away. We're going to enter the turning basin in a moment. Once we do, we will be spinning to face north, or excuse me, spinning to face east and sailing out. There will be some condos off of this side of the ship, off the port side of the ship, and we expect some greetings there. Raymond Leach, I am the luckiest guy that I know. Susan, thank you. I'm happy to share it with you. I'll tell you, after 15 months of no cruising in North America, we're on Celebrity Millennium just a couple weeks ago, and we're so fortunate. But to be on the first cruise out of the United States, it is a privilege, it is an honor, it is amazing to be here. And so many, the crew members, the staff, the officers on board, truly, there was a manager of a restaurant that I chatted with earlier. I won't name who specifically it was, but he manages one of the restaurants here on board Celebrity Edge. And we're just talking about being back, and he was talking about how happy he was, not only to be back to work, but a lot of them have been working for a while just on kind of an empty ship, but to have guests back on board. And he started to cry, and he apologized. I said, there's no reason to cry. I said, you're going to make me cry, but you don't have to apologize. And that just speaks to how amazing this experience is. It's, certainly the world is not fully back to normal. In fact, in the United States here, we're very privileged to have high vaccine rates and a much improving situation. But this is a drastically improved situation that we're getting to enjoy, and indicates how far we've come. As Celebrity Cruises says, hashtag we are back. Someday is here. Someday we'll be back at sea. Someday we'll be vacationing. Someday we will safely be hanging out, and someday is here. So, we're absolutely delighted to be part of this. Not lucky, just charming. You know what? Maybe. I mean, I'm lucky that I'm charming. There are a lot of happy tears today for sure. Yeah, it is not an exaggeration. When you hear crew members and officers, and even Richard Fain, at some point this morning, he was talking about, tearing up. You guys can check out over our earlier YouTube live video. There was a press conference this morning, and they're not exaggerating. It is genuine. It is absolutely genuine. Captain Kate had to take, it's a good 30 seconds to kind of collect herself. And I'm sure it is all the more emotional for them, but even for guests on board, it is amazing. It's time to bring back the podcast. Oh, maybe. You and others have asked, so maybe. Is the ship full? No, we're at about 40% capacity. I think they might have announced the final head count earlier, but I'll be honest, I was trying to take a very short nap because it was a long day. Look at this, Veuve Clicquot virtually on tap, enjoying a champagne sail away. Pascal, I did not think I was going to be crying this morning, and there I was. They invite me to something nice, and I tear up. That's okay. Lisa Mack, you missed my sail away videos. Thank you. Captain Kate hugged the first guest on board. It was so touching. Oh man, so many people have been hugging Captain Kate. I took a picture of someone earlier because they were hugging Captain Kate. I said, would you like a picture? And they said, sure. And I thought, well, I want to hug Captain Kate, but she has a job to do, so I'm trying to give her space. But I'll be seeing her a little bit later, actually. We'll see if she makes an appearance here once we're out of the channel. I'm going to get more champagne, pardon me. This, by the way, so, we're talking about the occasion. I don't want to omit the fact that the bar here, let's see, can I have another, please? That the bar here on Magic Carpet, it's a full service bar. They have, practically everything you could want. But they're big on champagne. They have kind of a deal with Veuve. So here we are, another glass of Veuve Clicquot. Thank you very much. Hors d'oeuvres makes me wait another hand. An absolutely fantastic occasion. I remember a year and a half ago being right here, in fact, right at this table on Magic Carpet, and we're sailing, I think, out of St. Martin, and we enjoyed hours just sitting here enjoying the view as we left. And at no point could I have imagined the way that the next year and a half would unfold. But we are so delightful that we've got this far. McAllister is that is a very active tug here at Port Everglades. That's the one you see with the water cannons there. Richard Fain must be a big Cruise Habit fan. That's what I'm assuming. I will ask him. Where'd he go? He's still here. I think, oh yeah, he's behind talking to somebody. Rainbow, I'm sure the sun perfectly arranged that rainbow for Pride Month here on Celebrity Cruises, a big ally for the LGBTQ plus community. There's so much pomp and circumstance. Today, present at the press conference that took place in that building, which you guys can check in our YouTube feed, there were multiple mayors, county and city commissioners, all sorts of politicians from the area, as well as the CEO and multiple other executives from the port and from Celebrity Cruises. I encourage you to watch that video because while it may not seem high energy, there were some really interesting things said there, and it was very, very touching, some of it. So check that out from this morning over on our YouTube feed. But I will share something that I thought was particularly funny, and that's that I think he's the CEO. I might be saying the wrong title, but the head of Port Everglades said how difficult this last year and change had been. He said their revenue was down over 50%, and that was mostly due to cruising going away. And Richard Fain came up after him and started speaking. He said, "Can I tell you how envious I am that you had maintained 50% of your revenue, because we're at zero." So there is a business side to this, of course, but that business side represents the so much to those that work on board, not just Celebrity cruise ships, but ships all over the world. It's easy to dismiss things and say this is business, this is a luxury, and you're absolutely right, it is. But it is something very real, and that I think a lot of people can relate to, a sign of a return, maybe closer to normal, if not normal. I should mention 99% of persons on board Celebrity Edge for this sailing are fully vaccinated. 100% of the crew are fully vaccinated. There are just a small number of passengers, most of them being children too young to be vaccinated, that are on board. Even though Celebrity doesn't attract too many children, we do have a 40% capacity, 40% occupancy rather, on board. There's the horn again. We are hanging out in the turning basin. I'm surprised I've not seen a helicopter, actually. Usually they would do like during an inaugural or something, shots. They may have a drone out that I just don't see. So we're just hanging out in the turning basin. It's not as if we have to wait for other cruise ships to sail out, because we are the very first cruise ship to sail out of the United States since mid-March of 2020. I'm sure the condo owners absolutely love the sound of that horn. Not really, I was lying. Beautiful view. Again, we're on the Magic Carpet, which is a venue that is it's cantilevered over the side of Celebrity Edge. It's used for multiple purposes, as a restaurant, as a bar and lounge, and even as a place to launch tenders from when it goes down to the water line, which is why they have these, not bollards, there's a word that I'm forgetting there, bumpers of sorts. And right now it's just being used for this party of very lucky people, myself included. I am the luckiest person that I know. There's a siren from a Coast Guard boat. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Coast Guard and the Broward Sheriff's Office Marine Patrol units escorting the ship, presumably to the line of demarcation, which will be, depending on which authority, the second or third sea buoy. There's our pilot boat. Pilot boats escort the ship in and out of harbor. The pilots on board are absolute experts in the waterways, the local waterways, hazards, the tidal patterns, etc. They are unlimited tonnage captains. The pilot is actually on board the ship right now. The pilot boat will follow us out to the line of demarcation, at which point the pilot will step off of the ship from a ladder onto the pilot boat while we are in motion. I should be taking photos, so let me do that real quick. You'll pardon some shakiness as I snap some pictures here. Sorry for any shakiness there. I'm gonna go, I actually want to see as we sail out of the port. Had to resort to watch. Exciting. It is great to be watching ships sail again. By the way, some of these lovely L-shaped couches here on Celebrity Edge on the Magic Carpet. And here you can see the windows out the side. So facing aft, that bubble of windows that you see several decks down all the way astern is Eden. See the fireboat crossing astern right now. Horns continuing to blow. On our right side, starboard side, we have, as I trip over things, on our starboard side, we have Dr. Von D. Mizzle, Eula Johnson State Park. That's where usually, in more ordinary times, you would find us doing broadcasts every single weekend of cruise ships sailing away from Port Everglades. We look forward to returning to that pattern soon, putting some more mileage on the car, driving over here to share that with you guys. That jetty has been closed since a hurricane in September of 2019, I believe it was. Or no, it goes back even further, maybe 2017. Been a while. How's that? Love hearing the horn. So glad to be back at sea. We're going to be continuing now straight out. This is actually technically part of the Stranahan River, which is the main way in and out of Port Everglades. There is another, there are other ways in because it does connect with the intracoastal, but this is the way that larger vessels enter. There's another, looks like another Marine Patrol vessel up there ahead of the pilot boat. We're going to be on board for 14 nights, sharing our experience with you guys, both here on social media. Make sure you also follow along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and if something new comes along in the next 14 days, we'll do that too. And of course, over on cruisehabit.com. Raymond Leishes must be making other cruise lines very jealous. Maybe. You see Captain Kate on the port bridge wing. We'll tell her to walk over to the starboard bridge wing so that we can say hi. You see a number of people out here enjoying the magic carpet. This is a private event, and given that I'm holding champagne, I'm wishing I had another hand to grab an hors d'oeuvre, but that's okay. I've never been more happy to see Port Everglades in our wake trail. Nothing against Port Everglades. There are the condos over there on the port side, passing, and they sometimes hang banners and sometimes just say angry things on the radio about the horns. That's okay. If you have questions about cruising, whether it's cruising Celebrity Edge, or even just travel in general, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to answer your cruise questions. And if I ever tell you I'm going to give you an answer and then I don't, listen, I get a lot of requests while on ships. Please don't hesitate to say, hey, Bill, what about this? Catching up for lost time indeed, and I was on Millennium a couple weeks ago. If it backed out of the, we'd be on the webcam right now. You know what? I'm good being on this side. How's that? You're right, but I'm good being on this side. I see somebody on the pilot boat holding a camera. More people than usual. I'm guessing it may be the I forgot the name of their union. But it looks like a couple of people filming. They may be doing something for that. Listen, to everyone, that's a great example of where the cruise industry creates jobs. This morning, at the press conference in Port Everglades, they mentioned that Royal Caribbean Group commissioned a third-party study to find out how many jobs relied on the cruise industry, and they said 750,000 jobs. I believe that was the number. I don't have the notes in my pocket, so if I'm wrong, we'll correct that later. I believe it was 750,000 jobs in the United States alone depend on the cruise industry. So again, you can say this is a luxury, this is a business, but it's one that really matters for those folks. That's what one of the guys on the pilot boat was doing. He's flying a drone. Looks like he's about to land right there on the pilot boat. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's that little dot above him. I'm not going to keep watching, but hopefully he catches it. I will wish Captain Kate well for you, Thomas. I will have many flutes of champagne. Whoa, I'm still zoomed in. That was scary. Sorry. I will have many flutes of champagne for you. It is an absolute honor and privilege to be here, and I appreciate all of you guys. Guys, if I can ask just one favor of all of you, that is throughout the next 14 days, when you see something, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, cruisehabit.com, or anywhere else I post anything, if you see something you say, well, that's funny, that's of value, that's helpful, that's interesting, share it with someone else who will feel the same way. That would mean the world to me. This is a labor of love for me, guys. I have a day job. I'm not. I'm no Matt Hochberg. And if Matt's not here, that guy. But that would mean the world to me if you guys shared this. A number of other pleasure craft I saw ahead of us before. They probably turn in once we got out closer to open water now, observing this historic moment of the very first cruise ship sailing out of the United States in over 15 months. I'm going to navigate walking through all of these to get to the front without bumping into anyone. This is when I fall on live video into Richard Fain. Can you guys picture that happening? That's the CEO of Royal Caribbean Group behind me. And that's me not falling onto him. Great success. Let's walk all the way forward. All the way forward, I'm going to show you guys two things that are sticking out from the ship as we walk all the way forward. Somebody left their phone there. All right, here we are. So what you see all the way forward there, sorry about the shakiness, so that is the bridge wing, and that's where the navigational officers can get a good view of the entire side of the ship. And then above that is there's a suite, and I believe that's, this is where I should know things. I believe that's the Iconic suite. There are two of them, one above each bridge wing. If it's not the Iconic suite, it's one of the other suites. There are two of them, one above each bridge wing. That's just part of their balcony. There's a hot tub and all sorts of stuff. Beautiful. We're now making the turn starboard, probably about, I'm going to say 15, 20 degrees. See the sea buoy there being eclipsed by the bridge wing right now. And we'll try and get a view of the pilot debarking, if he or she is not already. Say he or she, it's worth pointing out, Celebrity Cruises has more female officers than any other cruise line. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
Because it's just...
And the harbor pilots, while they are not celebrity staff, there is at least one female, or was at least, female harbor pilot at Port Everglades. And I look forward to there being more. What's the itinerary? Great question. I've one-up Matt today. I one-up Matt every day. I'm kidding. What's the itinerary? So we're sailing to Costa Maya, Cozumel, and then Nassau. The itinerary was originally going to be a little bit different, but you got to be dynamic and fluid right now. Next week, we're going to be Eastern. We're going to be going to Nassau, St. Thomas, St. Martin. And listen, I'll be honest, while a lot of those are lovely places, I'm happy to be going anywhere right now. We're just happy to be on board. It's so fantastic. This is where I need to look at the time. And probably several other people here because we have another engagement. Okay, I still got some time to hang out with you guys. For those just joining, my name is Bill. I'm with cruisehabit.com, and we are on board Celebrity Edge, which is the very first cruise ship to sail out of the United States. We just departed Port Everglades, our embarkation port. So these are the first moments that you're witnessing of cruising returning to the United States. 99% of all persons on board are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 100% of crew members are vaccinated against COVID. So we're looking forward to a safe and successful sailing. It really marks a historic moment, a return toward normal, as I've started to say, because too normal takes time. We have to recognize that there are many places in the world still struggling a lot more than the United States. So I say return toward normal, and we're so fortunate to be here and share this with you. Celebrity Cruise is the first cruise line to start sailing again. They were also the first to start sailing in the Caribbean. We were on the June 5th Celebrity Millennium sailing, which was the first Caribbean cruise to return. This is actually a little bit unusual. We are past that sea buoy. I don't know if you guys can see it. The sun's in my eyes, and I didn't wear sunglasses. But and yet the Marine Patrol is still pacing us. So even the Marine Patrol is excited about the return of cruising, because they usually would have turned away at that sea buoy. Looks like Edge didn't steal the water out of the port. So it's on the other side that you really see that it's like the tsunami effect. You have some great TikToks from Captain Kate on the bridge wing. She's better at social media than I am, that's for sure. There's one of the Marine Patrol units. I didn't see the pilot. Maybe they're on the other side, possibly. This is an absolutely beautiful site. Magic Carpet multi-purpose venue goes between the waterline to use a sort of a launch spot for tenders, or as they call them, edge launches, in fact. And as well as a bar, lounge, and restaurant. They move it all the way up to deck 15, depending on the purpose. There's I see a drone out. Again, I don't know if that's the same one from the pilot boat, but I don't see the pilot boat anymore, so who knows? Yeah, there may be some live feeds going on right now. I know it's 6:30. Ah, there's Carrie. I need to go talk to Carrie Sanders, actually. We're emailing. So we're on, we're featured on the Today Show on MSN.com. I think we got some CBS coverage when we're on Celebrity Millennium. So I'll be honest, hoping to get a little more of that this time, but in contact with some of them. We love talking ship with anyone, whether, especially you guys individually. When we can talk, I can answer your cruise questions. But, national news, I guess we'll settle for that too. You know what? I wonder if the pilot boat is down there and I just can't see it because I'm seeing the water break in an unusual spot. Guys, thank you for joining. If you are just joining, my name is Bill from CruiseHabit.com. We're on the very first cruise ship out of the United States. Celebrity Edge. It's been over 15 months. There we have CEO of Royal Caribbean Group, Richard Fain, hanging out with us here. This is an invitation-only event. Wonder what Bug is up to right now. Brian, check out the YouTube video that we posted earlier this morning. Bug was presented with a no expiration pass for Port Everglades. That was adorable. I will edit and post those pictures later too. Do you plan on eating a rooftop garden? You know what? I don't know if that's on my schedule, but if you send me a tweet to remind me, I will schedule it. How's that? Because it's the only venue, I think, on the entire ship that I've never eaten. Well, no, maybe I've not eaten at Tuscan Grill, because I'm mostly vegetarian, sushi-tarian, as I sometimes say. So I'm not sure. With the Florida law about asking for vaccinations, how can celebrity say it is 99% vaccinated? Celebrity asked all persons boarding if they would show, and they called in advance to ask them this, in fact, so that they could plan accordingly. They asked if they would be willing voluntarily to show that they are fully vaccinated and provide that proof. They're not obligated to. That's why there are some people, in addition to children, there are a couple adults on board that are not fully vaccinated. That's one reason. That's one, is people volunteered that. If you are not fully vaccinated, there are certain restrictions. The other reason is that actually that Florida law, or it's actually an executive order, does not kick in for another couple days. It doesn't kick in until July 1st. So I'm interested to see how that changes between now and our next cruise, because we're doing back-to-back on July 3rd. We're staying on board while everyone else gets off the ship, because we are, as I said before, the luckiest. I'm the luckiest person that I've ever met. There's the horn again. That usually indicates that the pilot has just debarked. I'm going to guess that that the pilot got off on the other side in that case, unless he's right there and I just can't see. Oh, you know what? Nope. Let's see if I can not drop my phone. That would be an epic failure. There he is. So yeah, they usually blow the horn right when the pilot disembarks, and there he is right below us, or she, you can't tell. Setting my drink down, pardon for the shakiness. Pardon the shakiness. If you want to understand exactly what harbor pilots are, what the pilots do, you can check out cruisehabit.com. Just search pilots, and we have an explainer on that. All sorts of other nautical terms you're not familiar with, that's okay. We've got a glossary, what's the word I'm looking for? Dictionary, one of those things for cruisers, and to answer those questions. This is, guys, I'll be very, very honest with you. I always try and be honest with fault in all parts of life. The only thing that would make this moment better is if Larissa was with me right now. Larissa, the other half of Cruise Habit, and my spouse, she had other obligations, so she's not on this cruise, but she's going to be on next week with me, so you guys can see more of her and hear her laugh, because everyone loves her laugh. I love her laugh too. That's the only way to make this moment better. Everyone is so delighted to be here. I've never seen more people smiling bigger. You're on July 17th. You were still called to ask you for vaccinated. If you plan to bring my card board. Yep, absolutely. That's like I said, they have to get a good idea, right? Because they don't know for sure until you board. They have to have a pretty good idea to maintain that 95%, because until mid-July, when the conditional sail order is suspended, they need to no, they need to demonstrate that and attest that they are sailing with a 95% vaccinated group of guests. And that's because they did not do a simulated voyage. So Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas this past week, just did a simulated voyage, and that's because they wanted a conditional sailing certificate that allowed them to sail without at least 95% of guests being vaccinated. So this ship, and I believe all Celebrity ships, are not doing that. They're maintaining that 95%. So they need to be pretty darn sure. So they make those phone calls, and then they gotta make sure they're well above that in case some people show up and they say, oh, actually, I'm not vaccinated, or I forgot, things happen. But those that cannot prove they are vaccinated will have significant restrictions on board and additional costs for the testing. But again, on this sailing, 99% of all persons on board, 100% of crew, are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Who's the cruise director this week? That's a great question. I forgot her name. She is Scottish. Oh, and I forgot her name. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Brian, lines like Royal Caribbean that attract a lot more children, they're going to, they have some extra challenges, right? Because children under the age of, I believe it's 12, can't be vaccinated yet. That's why on August 1st, the threshold for some lines that are requiring crew vaccination, including Celebrity out of ports other than Florida ports, are requiring that all persons starting August 1st, are fully vaccinated, 16 and over, whereas right now it's 18 and over. Again, guys, never been happier to see Fort Lauderdale off on the Wake Trail. Never in my life have I been happier to see that. This is an absolutely monumentous occasion, and we're so happy to be here. I'll tell you, on the list of less historic, but I'm sure equally as important to somebody, things that I learned today. I've referred to this many times on our this might be my fifth, this is either my fourth or fifth Celebrity Edge showing, Magic Carpet as orange. It's not as tangerine. That was made very clear by Richard Fain today. I should go up and apologize to him. For the next 14 nights, we're going to be sharing with you all parts. This gentleman looks familiar. I'm trying to remember who that is. We're going to be sharing all parts of the cruise experience with you for the next 14 nights as we sail this first 7-night Western Caribbean itinerary, followed by a 7-night Eastern Caribbean itinerary. I just heard the pop of another bottle of Veuve Clicquot. I should probably ask somebody for another glass of that. She has champagne, but I would also like water, but I only have hands for one. Decisions. Beautiful, this spot, the Magic Carpet on Celebrity Edge, one of my favorite spots for sunsets. And it looks like today that may be the case, because what's going to happen, we're going to continue out, I don't know, we're probably starting to make that turn already. We're already at an angle. We're going to be starting to turn south at some point, more southerly. And there you see the skyline of Miami way down there. That's part of Hollywood County line that's around, unfortunately, Surfside, right over there. That is Fort Lauderdale, and we're going to turn south, and that's going to mean that the sun is going to be setting on the correct side for the Magic Carpet, and that's always a gorgeous view. Though we do have dinner to go to probably before the sun sets, 6:45, so we need to start our way to get a change of clothes before that, because it is a bit humid. It is lovely here on Celebrity Edge, and we are privileged to be here. It's a beautiful ship. We're privileged to be here. So lucky. Happy to share this all with you. Also, however, those things in mind, it's real humid. It's real humid. Let me read those comments without putting my eyeball into the camera. Yes, I will. I believe I'll be speaking with NBC. Kerry Sanders is actually right behind me, and I have a meeting with him. So I believe I'll be speaking with them. Look forward to doing that. Barb, thank you. I will have a great trip. I'm going to have two great trips. One, this cruise, and the other one, next cruise on this same ship. I'm happy to see this too. For those of you that didn't catch it before, this is an occasion like none other, because not only is it the restart of cruising, and yes, that's good for those of us who like cruises, but it represents categorically two giant other things. One is a turn toward normal, in the direction of normal. We're very fortunate here in the United States to have a high vaccine rate, and we can really start making things a little more normal, like this, like we're here right now, and we're very lucky. Not everyone is that fortunate, but it is a turn toward normal. And the other thing it is, part of that, is a return to people getting back to work. Some of these folks, the hardworking folks behind me that you see at the bar, some of the officers that you see, I'm staring into the sun, so I don't know if that's right. They've not only were they out of work for a while, but even when they were back to work, they didn't have guests. They were stuck in their cabins. It was a very different situation. And I talked to a restaurant manager on board the ship earlier today, and we're having a lovely conversation. And in the midst of that lovely conversation, he started to cry because he was just so happy to be back and be with guests. And it was the first time things felt normal in 15 months. So, it is in that way monumental. Historic because this is the first ship to sail in 15 months out of the U.S., but monumental because it really does matter. Beyond the privilege of, yes, I'm very lucky, the people here are very lucky we could sail. It is monumental, it is important for so many people. I believe the number was 750,000 people. Royal Caribbean commissioned a third-party study to find out how many people's jobs in the United States alone relied on the cruise industry. Raymond, as soon as I drop the phone, I'm happy to talk to, I don't need more champagne for that. Happy to talk to Richard Fain. Lisa Ludolph-Perillo, unfortunately she couldn't be here. There was a horn tribute to her at the press conference this morning. If you check out that video over on the Cruise Habit YouTube channel, and that's because she was actually over in Greece for the Apex inaugural sailing that just left last week, and I believe ended, depending on time zone calculations, last night, whatever it was. So unfortunately, because of that, she wasn't able to be here. I do look forward to seeing her on a future cruise. As far as Celebrity Apex, by the way, we're going to be on Celebrity Apex. We have the very first Cruise Habit group cruise on Celebrity Apex. It's going to be January 8th, 2022. Please, I'm begging you, don't make me get on my knees. Head over to apexgroupcruise.com. And we're happy to provide you a free no obligation quote. Our travel partners are awesome, and with better rates than you're going to see online, additional incentives, and there are going to be a lot of surprises for those that book. Mark my words, I will put my own money on the line and say we're going to give you guys a lot of fun and surprises on that cruise. So make sure you check it out, apexgroupcruise.com. I'd love to sail with all of you on that ship or on any ship. No, Fain is here. He's right behind me. He's right there. Right over my shoulder. Guys, I gotta sign off because I need to head to dinner. I hate leaving people. I don't like leaving when there's still people hanging out and talking, but I do need to go. Thank you all for joining me. It means the world to me that you guys are here. Yeah, Matt wasn't here, so you had to call out my shirt, huh? It means the world to me that you guys are here. I appreciate it. I did see that Celebrity Millennium got to drop their mask. Unfortunately, Edge will not be able to do that because of their CDC status. You can check out cruisehabit.com. It's the second article up from the top right now that explains that. But I sincerely appreciate all of you being here. If I can ask just one thing of you, it would mean the world to me if you would share, whether it's this broadcast, something you found on cruisehabit.com, one of our social media posts, share that with someone else who would find the information helpful, interesting, valuable, entertaining. That'd be everything to me. This is a labor of love, and I'm the luckiest person that I know. Thank you all for being here, and I look forward to sharing more of this journey with you over the next 14 nights during our Celebrity Edge cruise, the very first cruise out of the United States. Thank you. Look forward to talking ship again very soon. This is when I realize I can't see the screen to end this program.